If you haven't heard about Anchor, it is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Lawful Stupid just jumped over. First of all, it's free, and we love that. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer, wherever you're at, all on the go. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. There are a lot of other vendors out there, a lot of platforms that they will make sure your podcast gets to. So it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money from your podcast with zero minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Last time on Lawful Stupid, you decided it was best to track the flood back to its source, and you set off into the morning. And you walk for probably half a day, and what you'll notice is a large canyon. You hear people arguing. We were here first, and so we reserve the right to go through first. Your people are always stomping on our people. We get to go first because you get to go first and everything else.
What seems to be the problem?
You know, every decade we must go back to Taggart and pay our dues to Nova.
Common pilgrimage.
We both have decided that we wanted to go apparently on the same day. And what makes it worse is we both can't use the same pass.
I'm going to cast Suggestion on this human man, so he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. That is a 10.
He fails. Great. You need to make your group wait and let them go forward.
And so we'll travel after. In front of you drop 3 armored men, and the Karuso says, "What's the meaning of this?" And then as he steps up to talk to them, to say something to these men, an arrow flies out from somewhere and hits him in the right shoulder. As you were escorting the Karusos through the woods, Leader Karuso was shot by an arrow. We left where 3 individuals that you now see as orcs, half-orcs at that. The middle one is a little bit larger than the other 2. And he's bald, carrying a large great axe on his back, arms crossed. He's wearing black leathers. To his left is a little bit shorter than him, another half-orc, and it's worth mentioning that they have gray skin. These 2 have gray skin. This one has braided hair. He has a bow on his back, and you see 2 short swords on each side. Also black leathers. And then you see to his left, your right, a female half-orc. She has long flowing black hair, and she has a staff on her back and a sword in her hand. And immediately, the orc on the right, upon seeing Leader Karuso being shot with an arrow, looses one arrow of his, pulls his bow around, and shoots into the trees from whence that arrow came, and falls another half-orc. And the leader says, "Sorry about that."
Apology accepted.
We'll be on our way then.
Right. Sister, take care of that. And the female half-orc reaches over and just with almost no emotion pulls the arrow out of his leg. Leader Karuso screams in pain, and then she immediately puts her hands over it. A white light glows around it, and it's healed up, but he still feels a little bit of the pain.
An explanation is in order. Did you just shoot an orc out of a tree and not follow that up with a, "Hey, here's what just happened"? Because we're not putting it together.
Alright, so here's what happened. You're traveling through the woods on your own and you think that you're just trying to go from A to B.
Yeah?
And then someone shoots you with an arrow. Well, that was rude.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yes.
Well, that was quite rude. And we just don't, even if that's our own, he'll be alright. And you look over now and you see that the guy he got shot in the arm. He's just rolling around on the ground, wailing in pain. And he shouldn't have done that, because we don't treat our guests that way.
I didn't realize it was a guest. This is not a open road. There's some toll.
Oh yeah, everyone's got to pay to come through here.
Oh, okay. I suppose this interaction isn't a high enough cost then. What is it that we must pay?
Well, let's see here. If you just come back to my camp,
that's really presumptuous of you. First of all, that I'm going to come back to your camp. I get it, I'm handsome, but second of all, why would I come to your camp? We're on a pilgrimage of sorts, I'm told. It seems weird to go back to your camp. Why do you want me to go to your camp? I shouldn't have interrupted you, sorry.
The female orc looks at you, and let's see what this female orc voice sounds like.
Oh, give it to me.
Because we told you to. That sounded gross. Anyways, I need you to roll a
Wait. Let's explore this lady orc voice some more.
Okay, let's do it again. Let's try it again. So I'm trying to go high pitch and gruffly. That's hard to do.
Here's what I want you to do.
Lay about
give me some Atlas.
Oh gosh,
it's been a minute.
I believe in you.
Because I told you to. Okay, there's Atlas.
Okay, give me a little bit more. Really feel it.
Now imagine getting kicked in the nuts.
I told you to.
Okay. Now.
Because I told you to.
They're better.
Okay. And now, you're really upset at your kids at a Kroger because they want things that they're not fucking getting. And you told them 3 times.
And they're
already.
looking with their hands and not their eyes.
I'm about to explode. You gotta quit now. I'm about to release this demon right now. Cause I told you to.
Okay.
I'm into it.
You somehow came back to the first voice.
No, it's great. Weird. I didn't realize you had the ability to tell me to. I suppose.
Roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
It's.
Dead instantly.
Brain
explodes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's press
William Messetway.
Oh, 21.
You know that she's trying to cast a spell on you. Not quite sure
what
which
is she
one.
trying to cast? It's important.
Do you know, or
you don't?
Do you know specifically?
It depends. Like, I'm immune to certain magical effects, I guess, is the problem.
Tell me what those are.
I have advantage on wisdom saving throws. My best. This could have been even better. Let's see. Any spell that requires me to dream.
Yeah, dream on, but I'm not telling you the spell, so you can bet. You're okay.
Cool. All right, cool.
So that didn't work. The one on the other side, the orc, the shorter one says, Now, sister, calm down. We don't treat our guests like this either.
It's kind of okay. First of all, nice try. You've got to be this tall to ride this ride, little girl. Now, aside from attacking an orc and then trying to attack me with magic, I don't want to fight, but gosh, John, if you make me, I will. I've never stabbed someone with a pin before, but I'll do it.
Well, I have your back if it has to happen.
She's fucking insane. I don't even know where her daggers come from, so...
I'm sure we can find a more equitable solution to this problem.
And don't worry, he'll bury your bodies in a real tasteful way. So, frankly, I don't really give a fuck about what you're saying. Get to the point, leave, or die. Really, it's up to you. I'm a busy man. Also, you might be hungry because I've heard orcs are really hungry all the time. I can just give you a snack if that's the problem. You're a little hungry in your tums?
Who said we were hungry all the time?
Like everyone. It seems a little like speciest, but you know, I guess it's a thing. Are you hungry now?
We've got 2 stomachs. It's not our fault. We're hungry all the time.
I reach out to rub his tummy. Are you hungry now?
I'm always hungry. They were right.
I can't
I'm
stress.
not even angry about. I mean, I am angry, but I'm always angry.
Okay.
I can't.
I believe
so
that's
what can
called
we-
hanger.
What can we do to fix this then? You need a chocolatey bar with some nuts and some caramel in the middle?
You had me at nuts.
That sounds right.
At that time, there are all around you. You hear like softly thudding, but thudding to the ground. Lots of other soldiers, other half-orcs, some carrying spears, others have swords, and they're about 30 or 40, and they surround you because where you're at,
30 or 40
the left
of
side.
them?
Yeah, you're not sure. Roll a perception
Okay.
check, and I'll tell you how many.
No, it's fine. I look around
Yeah.
at all of them. Excuse me, Mrs. B,
Yes.
will you hold this pen, please?
I will take Eshi.
Now you can see his Shinigami because you touched his notebook.
As he hands her the pen, I'm gonna use my bottled respite and go inside the pen.
Okay.
And as I do it, I say, "Good luck, everyone else," and then pop into the pen.
What did he?
You know, because I think there's a lady in this pen, I will not throw it on the ground, but I am rather pissed off.
Did you say Christoph?
Pissed off?
No.
No, rather Kristoff
hold
is
on.
I mean,
also
I
an
can try to be
emotion,
pissed off.
but it's usually like confusion, abandonment, and drunkenness.
You get an
I'd rather
inspiration,
Christoph.
Dwayne. Next, you get a free inspiration.
Can you hold that pen up for a second?
Ooh.
Hurry! Oh, Miss B, hurry up!
She'll
Hold
hold
that
it
pen up. I sneeze on it. I chew, and then I look at the camera and I go, "Bless me."
Look at the camera. There, if you guys didn't know, console there is these cameras like very Hunger Games style that are always watching.
Of course.
The lead orc looks at he'll look at both of you kind of back and forth to Miss B and to Lucian, and he'll say, "You'll want to come peacefully," and he like winks subtly to both of you.
Yeah, that's the only way I do it.
Well, I'll have to work for now. Then she'll tuck the pen in one of her side pockets. So I was like, nope, her shirt's not low enough to tuck it in between, so...
Also, respect my pen, lady. It isn't...
Also, for the $69 tier, you find out where the pin can fit on all of our players.
It's gonna be real weird when I pop out of this pen if you put me in the wrong spot, okay?
Or the right spot. You are then
Stop
taken
it! You
as,
guys are dirty birds.
as soldiers surround you from all sides and begin to direct you into the woods off of the trail. Now, what they're doing is you notice that they are keeping, some of the soldiers are staying back with the larger group together. And so you're being forced down another trail.
I cannot stress enough how much I'm taking a short rest in this pen. So if an hour elapses, I've got me a short rest.
So it's not very long because the strip of land that is between, if you remember, the large lake on the right as you were approaching in the canyon is not extremely large. And so
We'll see. We'll see how long I hide.
Do you like Dungeons and Dragons, but are you too lazy to play it yourself? Would you rather listen to people playing it? Well, boy, do I have a podcast for you. Infinite Deer, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast. Find us now on iTunes and any other good podcast delivering platform. Good day.
you begin to see this thing open up. Dwayne's character, William, does not see this opening in the woods. Roll a perception check for me, Lucian, MSB.
19 for Miss B.
I tell you what, Devin, I would love to.
Yeah.
That, sir, is a 24.
Okay, a few things you will notice. There are several little like pop tents for the soldiers who are there. There's some fire set up around. You'll also notice that this is sitting on the edge of the lake. So it's kind of a beautiful setting for you as you're here. It edges off into the lake. You'll notice in particular, off to the left side of this opening, there's a much larger hut, or I'd say like almost like one of those straw huts that you saw in Junga. Straw houses.
Some sort of Pizza Hut.
A peaceful hut. But this one has lots of stakes, not the kind you eat, but stakes with like heads on them outside of the door, and there's no one around that. And that lead orc says to you, "Come with me," and he begins walking into that tent.
Oh, I'm allergic to decapitated heads.
Oh, I'll keep you safe. And Miss B will wrap her arm around Lucian's and follow.
You just mom arm me?
So lead orc goes in, sister goes in, but the brother orc is kind of trailing behind you guys to ensure that you walk in.
I like how they're being described to me as family members.
Brother
the mama orc
and sister orc. We're family forever. It's great.
Like these orcs are just being pointed out on a decal on an SUV's rear windshield.
Mama orc.
Mama orc.
Well, see, the problem was orc. Coming up, Mama and Daddy orc weren't around, and so Russell's.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Okay. As you walk into this Pizza Hut, you're amazed because the inside of this place does not at all reflect the camp that you've just walked into. The amount of light and even the amount of
space. It's like casual
fun
dining.
That seems to be in this room. The paintings that are on the wall, the rugs that are on the floor, the lavishness of the couches that are here, the large dining table with food prepared for a feast for, it looks like the entire camp.
Shakers of red pepper flakes.
Just lots of them, as many red pepper flakes as you could have. And then, so as they walk in, they begin to shed their weapons. They put them in certain places, all the orc family, it seems, the three. And they start taking off the leathers that are on them. And like almost a collective sigh, they have underneath like these really comfortable looking robes, and they're like, "Oh, this is exhausting."
An explanation would be great.
Yeah, have whatever you see in here. Eat whatever you like. And then the sister says, "I'm really sorry about that act before. That's not even my real voice. That was really bad character acting by me, and I'm sorry. And I just apologize for that." And the brother says, "Oh, come off it, sister. You've always been pretty rude as it is."
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and grab some stuffed pizza rollers and a pepperoni pizzone.
Okay.
Start chowing down on that.
It is delicious. It's very good. And he says, "Wine for anyone? Dry?"
I'm confused.
We've got
I thought dry
mead
meant...
and other D&D drinks that are alcoholic that you would enjoy.
I thought dry meant that you don't drink.
It's a more dry wine, is what they say. Versus like a sweet wine.
I'm gonna lean into Miss B.
Yes.
I don't know anything about wine, except for which ones to use during sacrament.
I couldn't tell you because I was never interested myself.
It's just the Miss B. Miss B, you're the grown-up Miss B. Miss B, no.
I am not the. I may be older than you, but I'm not the.
Just try this one, see if you like it. And so he gives you first a sweet wine. This is a beginner's wine. It's in a clear crystal glass.
I hold it in my hand and awkwardly wait for someone to put a crazy straw in it for me to drink.
Can I pull one out of my pocket, Devin?
Yes.
She is a mom.
Yes.
Or was.
You always have. It's gotta have at least 2 loops, I think, is the mandated number of loops for a mom to have a silly straw.
It's a special background feature. Always has crazy straws.
Yes.
And puffs, like cereal puffs. And so he also pours. He has 3 glasses in his hands after he hands you yours, and he pours one for his brother and his sister as well. And then he takes a seat in this extremely comfy chair. Brother and sister are kind of in close to him, but in corners of this room. And he says, "Come on in, have a seat." Sister snaps her fingers, and a fire starts in the hearth that's on the other side of the room.
I'm gonna lean into Miss B. That was magic.
I know, sweetheart.
Well, you don't know shit about wine, so I thought maybe.
Just because I don't know anything about wine doesn't mean I don't know anything about magic.
Well, I just figured I'd over communicate rather than under communicate.
Should I sit you down in a chair and put the table on top so you have like a high seat too?
Ooh.
Burn. You just cast a level 5 fireball.
Ooh, put me in timeout, mommy.
Miss B will go take a seat. Put her hands together and fold them. Alright, could any explanation would be great because she'll put the pen up on the table. I don't even know if he can hear us.
Well, William just feels a rattling.
What's William doing in there? What can William do in his pen?
Pretty much anything. It's 20 by 20 like foot like area. It's got like a low table. It's very specific about what it does and doesn't have, like, which is kind of weird.
How many garlic knots you got in there?
Let's see. Comfortable temperature. It's got cushions and a low table. I can hear the area around me while I'm in the space. I can remain here for twice my proficiency. I'm just hanging out until the DM tells me an hour has passed, and I'm performing a short rest and listening.
Yeah, and so
I need to bounce.
You said you can hear out, and so you'll hear the lead guy say, "Hey, can your friend come out now? Is he still playing chicken?"
Can you communicate with us while you're in there?
It just says I can hear.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Oh, let me just check something.
But can you use your mentalist powers?
That's what I was about to check. I gotta see what the you can speak to anyone you can see, and I don't know that this like has windows on it.
Yeah.
So
even if it did, I think that there's some trickery there because you are technically on different planes right now. I think, right? You're in a demi plane.
It doesn't really say that like I go to another dimension. It says I just go inside the vessel.
I'd like to think you're somewhere magical where you can just really get away from the woes of the world.
Oh, it does actually say an extra dimensional space. Yep.
Yeah.
Had to reread it.
We'd all love to be there.
I'm glad it didn't have windows and stuffed it down my shirt. That would have been awful.
I told you. Be careful when you put stuff when people magically pop into it and you just carelessly poop.
To be fair, let's imagine we're inside of a pen. We've got windows we're looking out. We've just been placed in nature's pocket.
It's just gonna be dark.
Prison wallet?
No, I'm saying like we're just at best with if you had like a light in there to shine outwards, you're just seeing like a wall of skin.
It's true.
Unless you were like placed directly on Nip, in which case that's your fault.
Do you come out, William? When you hear me say that?
Has it been an hour? You haven't answered my question.
Yes, it's been an hour. Forcibly,
all right,
been
perfect.
an hour.
Yeah, I pop
They've
out.
just been. They're all just.
It was a long walk.
Perfect. Done. I pop out and I look fucking refreshed. Right, suit and straightened. Like I'm happy. I pop out. Oh, you're still here. Damn.
Well, listen up. I figure you might as well know what's going on. My name.
He grabs a glass of wine from one of the orcs that have been drinking. I'll take that, thanks.
Okay, that's quite rude. As you take it from the smaller brother orc.
I pour what's left in my wine glass into William's wine glass.
Oh,
I was
thank
thinking
you.
the same thing.
Do both of you do it?
Yeah.
If it comes out right in the middle, just at the same time.
It's just like
I
as
bet.
full as possible. William sits down content and begins drinking.
I put my crazy straw in it so it doesn't smell.
Oh, yeah, perfect. Don't want to ruin the suit. Good
He
point.
gets everything he wants. This is spoiled. All right, here's the deal. I don't like killing. My sister doesn't like killing. My brother doesn't like killing. We come from a long line of
Not
killers.
Okay.
My father was the captain of this little bandit crew here. Has been here for many years, and his father before him. And you get the picture. We've
Called
been
him the
killing since-
Teeth Butcher.
Yes. And so, we just realized as people were coming through that they have interesting lives and they're a thing outside of killing. Now, we've killed our fair share of people, and they're both, But we don't like doing that, so here's what we do. All the boys here think that the heads on the stakes are real. But my sister here has a good deal of magic, and as you'll notice next time you go out, you wave your hands through one of those pikes, well, it's fake. It's all just an illusion. We don't let the boys near the place, so they might see the illusion. Here's what we want to do. We can't leave this place, or the orcs will track us down and try to kill us, because it's just our place in the world, and we accept that. But we also accept that we can do some different things, and so we've got a proposition for you. Something easy that will help us to pass time, make the boys think you're dead, but also give us a little bit of fun in the time.
Okay.
Perfect. You've agreed to it. So here.
I like fun.
And he looks over to his brother and like nods, and he says, I'm a little bit of a romantic, and as such, I love to read poetry, and love stories are my favorites, and I would love to just talk to anyone about what they think true love means as a philosophical standpoint. So you guys think about that for a moment, and then my sister, and then she says, well, I'm all Smor'cs. I think sports and things are fun, but things that require intellect are just much more enjoyable. And she snaps her fingers, waves over a table, and it like lands onto this table, and it's a chess set. She says, so I'd like to challenge one of you to play chess. And then the last guy in the middle says, I like art and things like that, but philosophy too, like what's the meaning to life? And I'd like to know what maybe you think the meaning to life is, and what happens, after we've hacked a man's head off, or we die, whenever that might be. You guys in?
Is this like a contest?
No, it's just information, just gaining information.
Oh, we're just having a fun chat.
We're just doing some backstory type things.
Okay.
More character development, if you will.
All right.
You've got your own stories you're writing as you travel on to town. I guarantee it.
So we have this conversation with you, or play a game, and then our rest of our group should be fine to continue moving on through this forest for this pilgrimage that we're helping them on. And everything's gonna be hunky-dory, right?
Yeah, for sure. So the thing is, we only kidnap a few to keep face with the boys, save face with them, so they think the great leaders have conquered these tiny mortals once again. Your group's probably already on the way. I'll take you a shortcut once we're done here, and you can move on about your way. The thing is, we gotta memorize. Your sister's gonna memorize your faces. She's gonna draw them, and then make illusions of your heads on a spike, so that the boys think you're dead. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, how lucky are you? You're welcome.
It's a living.
That's fine.
Yeah. So, who? You know what? I'll kick things off. Who thinks they're best suited to talk about life and things in that realm?
Are we talking life or love?
Life, death, and the meaning,
I'll do that one.
All right, let's kick things off. And you're welcome to sit around and keep drinking till it's your turn. I like hearing what everyone has to say. There's no reason for you to go anywhere else. How rude of me. I don't even think you know my name. I am Captain Drake. You can just call me Drake. The boys call me Captain. If they don't, well, I act angry. It is not.
Okay. Messed up.
I don't really have a last name anymore. It's just Captain Drake. And what is your name, sir?
I'm Lucian.
Lucian. How old are you, boy? Sorry, sir. I don't just normal things I do.
Happens to all of us.
It's all right. I'm 18.
A young lad, best. Okay. And you're dressed up as You look like a servant of some god somewhere. You look fancy like you're a servant of the church.
I am. Yeah, I'm a cleric of Our Lady of Light Nova.
I've seen a few of you come through here. Good. So, life. Let me tell you what I think it means.
Okay.
Some of us are dealt good cards, and some of us are dealt a filthy hand, if you will, a hand that they don't really care for. But in the end, we've all got to play the hand to the best of our abilities, and I think the hand that you're given, you could try to change and exchange, and perhaps you come out better, perhaps you come out on top, but sometimes other guys just win. And the best you can hope for is to make someone else's life a little bit better. And when you die, well, that's it. You've made your mark.
It's not a bad way to think about it. I pretty much agree with you, honestly. We're here, and the world is, in its natural state, dark and cold. And we need a little bit of light. Now, Nova, she provides as much as she can, but there's a lot of dark corners out there. So our job is to burn as brightly as we can while we're here and try to make things a little bit easier and brighter and warmer for the people that are around us. And eventually our light fades, but it's okay too, because it's kind of the point. It makes it more precious, being fleeting.
You know, I never thought about it like that. Where, you know, perhaps what you do in this life affects someone who can affect someone else and affect someone else.
Yeah, it's like we're all trying to pay it forward.
But what does it all mean anyway if you just buried 6 feet under, or even if you've been given that courtesy, thrown off a cliff, set in a fire? To what end do we have to serve? Why does it even matter that we become a light to other people?
Well, Captain Drake, have you ever done something you're not proud of?
Absolutely. I told you before, I had to grow up with my dad, killing folks.
After you did that, how'd you sleep?
I don't know that I can say I've slept a wink since I was a boy. Nightmares of those people in my head. People think orcs are just nasty folks, and I would say probably for good reasons. But I think you could say that not everybody can be fit into a mold.
I think you're exactly right. I just think that what we do in this life depends on the rest that we get afterwards. We do things we're ashamed of and shouldn't be doing, well, you don't sleep. But we work hard and do things we're proud of and rest.
You ever done something you're not proud of?
Yeah.
How do you sleep at night?
A lot better when I do things that are good for people. I don't know if it cancels out the bad, but I sleep a lot better.
You know, I haven't killed someone in probably 3 years at this point, 3 or 4 years, and even when I did, it was in defense. You know, when my boy shot your leader today, usually people immediately attack. They don't even give us a chance to speak because of the way we look. And so I'm hoping that me and my brother and my sister here can change the way that people look at orcs. And eventually, I don't know how, we'll get out of here. And we'll let the world see a better side of us.
That's really admirable. I think that if you spent your life doing that, you'd probably have a pretty restful sleep afterwards.
I think that's all I'd like is just one night. Good sleep. Thank you, Lucian. It's been a pleasure. I think I've gained some useful insight into the way that some other people think, and that's really all I wanted to do.
Well, here's what I want you to do. A little something extra for me. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go find a stranger later, after we've left. Find yourself a stranger and make their life a little bit better than it was before you showed up. And then I want you to take this incense. I want you to light it. This is chamomile. It's a tea.
Okay.
You know how to make tea?
Well, no, I never had tea. I'm joking. Look at us. Of course we've had
I'm
tea.
I'm just saying.
Yes,
You
we
never
love
know.
tea, actually.
Well, you got some chamomile. You like this incense. Drink the chamomile. Think about the nice thing that you did. See if we can't get you some sleep, buddy.
And he smells it and he goes, well, I don't think we've had this one before. And he passes it around to brother and sister, and they kind of take a smell, almost like someone who's had tea or leaves, and like know the fancy way to like crush it just gently between the finger and waft it and smell it.
That's what tea boys do.
That's tea boys 2021. And he says, all right, thank you. I'll stop taking your time. Next up is my brother. You guys have got to get out of here. So, and brother steps up. Or he steps up. He just kind of perks up a little bit, takes a drink of his wine. So good every time. All right, so you heard my bruv. I'm next up, and I am a tender-hearted boy who has to wear a mask that he often does not like to wear. And so I love things. I love love stories, and so I would love to hear a love story from one of you. And so we know that's Avon. So before Dwayne gets in his feels about his love story.
Miss B will look at William for a second, like, oh, maybe he'll speak up so I don't have to.
Drinks through sippy straw.
Just like
She'll
you
do
eyeball
like a
everyone, like your eyes connect with everyone as you do it.
She'll do a small sigh, like, I guess that will be me, but I don't know about a story. That's...
Well, I don't mean story. Let's talk about... So I've seen couples come through here, and I often wonder how two people can be so involved with one another that they spend their entire lives trying to constantly win the affections of that person, even though they've already won their affections. What makes that? I've never been able to experience that because you've heard my brother. We're stuck in this situation currently, and there's not a lot of women, and the men are grotesque. So, have you ever experienced love in that manner? I would love to hear about it.
She'll look at her couple companions for a second, like, yes, I have. I had a late husband.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, well, when you're a twilight elf and you fall for a human, it can be rather hard.
Indeed, our mother was human, and we don't know what happened to her, but... Twilight Elf, tell me a little bit about that. I don't know that we've ever met. As he looks around, brother and sister, and they're shaking their heads, no, a Twilight Elf.
I have a question, Devin. What time of day is it?
It's high noon.
High noon. Oh, well, Twilight Elf is... Well, we're basically the love children of a sun elf and a moon elf, and here I am. Just a little bit different, not one or the other, just somewhere in between.
And what makes you different from them? From either one?
Well, I don't even know how to explain it. They don't get along, the sun and moon elves. That's... Who knows what that story is anymore for the little place that I came from. They got along. They fell in love. It didn't matter what differences they had. It was just the both together. There have been several generations now, even though my parents were recently the sun and moon elves. The rest of them, they're twilight elves everywhere else in the village.
That is so interesting that you, my dear, come from the very thing that people... from the very people who hated one another and came together in a union. You are quite literally the meaning of love. Twilight elves. And he pulls out a book and he's writing it down. Twilight elves are love. And this husband of yours, you were together for how long?
Oh, I lost track of time. I feel like we met in our 20s. Oh, maybe 60, 70 years?
What did you learn in all those years? What kept you together? What is the secret to being in a long-term relationship?
Spits out his chamomile when he hears her say 60, 70 years.
Well, I was not the romantic out of the two of us. That was more of Neo. He was more of the all you need is love type. It could fuel whatever we do in our lives. He was the one pursuing me most of the time. Of course I allowed it, and I was amused by his antics. It was silly for a time, and then it was just warmth and happiness after that. I was glad to have him with me.
You know, I've heard of half-elves, and I always wonder, does the elf in the relationship realize that the human or the non-elf is going to have such a limited lifetime, and how do they work through that? And I don't mean to bring that up I just wonder, you knew that Neo, yes?
Yes.
Was human and that he wouldn't live nearly as long as you, but yet he was able to win your affections despite knowing that. I don't think there are many half-elves or half any creature that has your lifespan, because just for that very reason. So I find it very interesting that Neo was able to not only fight for you, but win you and keep you.
I've thought about it plenty, and I'm still digesting about it. She grows silent, like not entirely sure how to answer. After knowing him for so long, I wish I knew what made him exactly tick and want to stay, even knowing that I live much longer than normal elves.
Even in all those years, you're still learning about each other. Beautiful. And any children to speak of?
A few. We had a couple.
Very nice. And when is the last time you've been able to see them?
She looks at her companions again, and it's like,
I've struck chord, I'm sorry. I did not mean to do that. I just was wondering about your beautiful apparent family.
They're happy and healthy and old.
Healthy. Writes that down in his book. What I'm hearing is there is a chance for love anywhere you go, and through seemingly any circumstances. Well, thank you, Miss B, and I will leave the final part of our agreement to my lovely sister. One thing we love at Lawful Stupid, among the other things we love at Lawful Stupid, is spreading the word about your business. Or maybe you want to tell your sweet, sweet grandma that you love her for the world to hear. We want to give you that chance. If you're a business and want to get your services on the air, or just want to tell a loved one a personal message, head on over to lawfulstupid.org/message in a bottle. There you can take around 250 words to say what you want. Business ads are $20, personal ads are $10. Tell the world what you have to hear with Lawful Stupid's Message in a Bottle. And so the sister now has been like toying with these pieces, and she looks up. She doesn't say anything, but she looks up to William. William, what are you doing right now?
Finishing off my giant glass
she snaps
of wine.
her fingers, and the straw goes away. So now you're just like puckering into the air.
It was rude.
And she says, "Speaking of straws, how do I always get the short one? Come on over. It seems
Probably
you."
your looks, dear, mostly.
And she's actually the most beautiful half-orc lady you've ever seen.
I don't know that says a lot, but all right.
And she says, "Come on over." And she claps, and a chair that is just like hers appears on the other side of this table of chess. And she says, "Have you ever played?"
Oh, yes, of course. Before I sit down, I cast Prestidigitation on this chair to clean it thoroughly. And then I sit down.
All right. You know what? Ladies first. And she turns the board. And so what we're going to do is kind of a series of rolls.
Me first? Good joke.
No, the lady that's with you, actually. She's probably the brains behind the operation, I'd say.
Oh, I'd agree.
And so she nods to you to go. And as you can, I want you to roll a flat d20 for me.
All right. That's going to be a 16.
Okay, so you can, it's hard to do chess this way, so we're just going to do a series of rolls that will represent me just basically beating your move in that kind of way. So act, counteract, that kind of thing. So, okay. And would you say you rolled a 20?
16.
16. Okay, and she says, so how did you come about your friend?
My friends?
She taps it like knowingly her temple to yours. Your friend.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
She moves her place up, so you, if you want to, however you want to do this, you get to beat one of her rolls, because that last one, so you can like capture or just knock, however you want to do it, or just move more aggressively.
No, I think he sets honeypots.
Okay.
So he waits for her to like go too far in for like to take a rook or something. Just fucking smashes one of her pieces. He sets traps. He's not an aggressor.
Okay, roll another d20 for me.
Alright, let's roll another d20. That one's an 11.
Okay, and she says, actually, let's do this. So she tight lips, kind of like purses her lips, looks at you directly in the eyes, and you hear a voice inside your head that says, and no one else hears this, "Is this better?"
I mean, yeah, I guess being in my listen, lady, I've got people in my head all day. Like,
are you saying this just to her through that like telepathy?
No,
link,
just to her. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so she sees the move you were going to make, and she goes ahead and knocks a piece away to prevent you from setting some of those honey pots for her. And she says, "Just tell me who else is in here."
It's a weird thing. I to just like ask, come into my head and ask, it's my patron, Ashi.
Go roll a d20 for me.
Sure, boss. If you guys don't know, though, while
I'm only going to do
D20,
5 rounds of this. We're on round 2, so I'm getting there.
Well, I rolled a 2. But just so you know, if you play D&D and use D&D Beyond and have a campaign, you can see each other's rolls when you're both using it. It's a new feature. It's really cool.
I'm not ever using that. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I can see Lucian's roll when he rolled his perception check. He didn't lie about it.
I don't have to lie about it. She's going to beat you either way.
That's a 2, yeah.
She says, Tell me about this patron. I too love magic, and it seems that you've got an affinity for it as well.
Sure. She's stop rolling attack rolls. It freaked me out.
Attack her.
Well, she's I suppose the spirit of fire. I've been told, and And truly, she's just a really good friend who's blessed me with magical abilities, and seems rude of me to just give away all this information to you. I don't know you from Sarah.
She pulls out of your head, and she moves a piece on the opposite side of the board, kind of where there's empty space. Doesn't seem like it's a move that is going to be a good one. And she says,
Sure.
I just like to know, what got you into magic?
Now, is she saying this aloud, or...?
This is aloud again, yeah. She pulled out of your
Oh,
head
okay,
again.
cool. Then I'll return to talk aloud. What's got me into magic? I suppose it's interesting, and most of my gifts are not my own, but... I mean, the other aspect is I could go build a train, I guess. But then I thought, that's a lot of work, and I'm not about that, and... Yeah, magic's just useful. It's a means to an end, I believe.
It seems like you are... and I don't mean this in a negative way, but
You're about to say something negative.
pretty selfish.
I'm selfish, yes. So are you, dear, but I suppose that's not what we're talking about.
I just mean, you seem pretty powerful. You got a patron who is, if you didn't know, extremely powerful. Yet, in the face of danger, you disappear into a pin.
Yeah, in the face of danger, you make illusionary heads on pikes. So I assume we all kind of have our ways of running away from problems, huh?
You're right. But the fake heads on pikes prevent me from putting real heads on pikes.
Or you could actually just confront the problems in your culture and deal with them, like, head on. But no, you're kind of skirting around the system. But, hold on. You're over there judging what I do. Fighting 40 of you monsters isn't high on my to-do list. But no, let's judge me and what I do as your guest. But yeah, no, it's fine.
Again, you're not wrong. My brothers and I would love...
You could just say you're right. Like, that says a lot about you as a person, that you couldn't admit that you just
You're
said
right.
you're not wrong.
You're right.
Oh, that's music to my ears.
But I think that's your problem. Is you always have to be right.
It's a burden. Someone's got to do it.
And she actually laughs at that. I feel like I don't know if you're joking, but she like laughs like a true, genuine chuckle because she knows you.
Oh, he's fucking straight talking right now. Like, always. Like, everything that he says to people who are jokes, he's just being
dry
very,
humor.
like,
Okay.
dry humor. Yeah.
Listen, and then roll a d20 for me.
Yeah, sure, happy to. That's 14.
Okay, go ahead and roll one last one. And as she's moving her piece, as soon as you've moved your piece, she's moving hers to counter
14
attack.
again.
And with as she's saying, you always have to be right. Here's what happens. So you guys are, as you're talking, you're moving pieces around the board, and you move.
Wait, hold on.
Yes.
Does it look like I'm gonna lose? It's important.
No. So
Okay.
I want you to do
Cool.
whatever you think is a cool move to checkmate her. And just remember, she's just said you're always right.
Yeah, because there's nothing sexier than chess.
Chest. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna pin her with the old Queen's Gambit because that's the only move I know.
This episode brought to you by Queen's Gambit on Netflix. And so you pull out this Queen's Gambit and you like knock her piece way off the board, and she looks up and she says, "I always have to be right. I hope that you
That's a good point.
will one
I
day."
should have lost to you. You're right.
She snaps her fingers and it goes away, and she says, "It would do you some goodness to listen and take counsel at times. You are going to be a formidable opponent. I hope to meet you again someday, not in battle, but just to pick your brain a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. I take plenty of counsel, just so we're clear. It's just not typically from barbarians. Also, was that the last thing like a "you want to eat my brain" thing? Because I've already learned that you're very hungry, and I just want to know.
We are always hungry, brother.
There's literally food everywhere.
And that's why we are always hungry, because we have terrible diets and we just keep eating and eating, and this is our life. Okay. Anyways, I've held you up, we've held you up, your bargain is met. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. Yes, it was a pleasure to speak with you. Well, for me, anyway. Yeah, I enjoyed my time as well. I too, brothers, enjoyed my time.
Well, it's been real, and it's been fun, but it hasn't been real fun, so which way do we exit?
And she quickly takes out a piece of pen and paper, and she says, just a moment. She sketches your faces, puts them in a folder, and she says, brothers, and the captain said, oh, yes.
I'm gonna kind of sneak up to her. I'm just gonna, very, very meekly.
Okay.
On my way. Hey, can you do mine? Can you do him with a mustache?
What kind of mustache?
Like a big one with like little twisty ends.
And she doodles and shows you. She's like, this.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's fucking cool. I mean, that is cool.
Can I hear that?
Yes.
Oh, Lucian, you should have said something. I cast Minor Illusion and give him the exact mustache he wants.
His confidence is
overwhelming. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Oh, look, he's aged up at least 20 years.
Well,
How
there
wonderful.
you have it. I'm doing this every 60 seconds now.
Hell yes, friend.
Would you do mine?
And he immediately does a mustache on yours.
Yeah. oh, okay, Mrs.
Like
B.
this?
I give it to her.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh, sorry, erase it.
Thank you so much for adding a mustache to me, Miss B. A great privilege it is for me to be here. Thank you.
Now he's a man. It's wonderful. She was going to look towards the orc lady. When you do my head, you might want to chop some of my hair. I've had problems before when races want to touch how long it is. So if they go to mess with your illusions...
Good point. And so she chops off about shoulder length and shows you. Will this suffice?
Wonderful. I'm sure if it's a severed head, you should make it a little more crooked. Otherwise, perfect.
Oh, don't worry about that. My magic is very good. Brother. Yep, follow me. And there's an out, like an opposite side of the room where you came in. There's another door. You guys leave out, and you follow it out. Not very long, and trail winds out, and you end up seeing where some of the other soldiers have escorted the Karuso family and the Karuso clan to a heading outside of the woods.
Have no fear, we have returned.
So I have a question. So, are these like normal soldiers that brought us back, or just the brother?
They're just like your low-level orc fighter bandit types.
So then they know, so they're in on it?
No, they're not. I mean, they would. No, you're right.
So
you're
when
right.
they're gonna see our illusioned heads after they've escorted
No, well,
us.
Shane has a mustache, so he's good.
Okay, good point.
No one will recognize me.
You know what? Retcon. The orcs have pointed at some point and said, "Keep going that way," and so they do.
The brother orc?
No, just one of the foot soldiers. After they escorted him a while, they shoo him on, and so now you've met up with the group again without orc soldiers.
All right, well, hold on.
It's
At
only
some
the
point,
orc foot soldiers that care, and they're not around anymore.
right? But that's why it's very important that I know who escorted us. Is it the brother or the soldiers?
The two brothers.
Okay. So when they like shoo us on, all right. After we get out of their eyesight, I'm gonna use disguise self and turn into their leader. And then I'm going to run back to the brothers and say, brothers!
You're in the camp? Is that what you're telling me?
No. I just catch them. I don't go back to the camp. I catch the two brothers, disguised as their leader.
Well, that's him. That's what I'm saying. The captain is one of the guys who took you. Yeah, it's the captain and his brother.
Oh, wait. All right, fine. I take that back. I pretend to be the sister then.
Okay.
And chase them down. Brothers!
Yeah.
It's like a goblin.
Okay.
My
sister.
Yeah. Hey, I think it's really important that I tell you. That William guy was awesome. I just wish I was as good as him.
Roll a deception check.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna say
16 on one. Nat 1 on the other one, so 16.
He seemed kind of like a jerk and like you didn't really like him, but okay.
Yeah, he was just so amazing. Like, just remind me of him, like, all the time. Like, if I don't talk about him in a while, just remind me of how cool he was.
Was this love that I've just seen? Let me write it in my book. I will remind you pretty well. I'll write stories for you, sister.
Oh, yes. I mean, maybe, but don't... Oh, okay. And then she runs away. Or I run away in her form.
And then you hear him say... You hear the bandit, Captain Drake say, Rory, what's gotten into Lindley? And that's the end of that scene for them. Meanwhile...
I catch up with my friends.
Meanwhile, back at the club... anyways, you meet up with the camp. And so you've kind of met at this 4-way, 5-way break where the trail has gotten you across this small land passage between the canyon and between the lake. And you see where this grass from the flood in Junga is still down. And you see where now you're very close to the mountains that you suspect it come from. And it's at this point you will have the opportunity to say one final thing to Leader Karuso as you have guided them through, and they will be continuing on to the town of Harlow. As you travel northeast, it's to the northwest, so they're splitting off and going into the small town of Harlow. And the leader says, thank you, boys. Thank you. And lady, thank you so much for helping us get through. We couldn't have done it without you.
There are no boys here, Mr. Karuso.
Oh, forgive me, sir. And he stands up straight and puts his hand out to shake.
I shake him about the forearm and I say, may your heart remain stout and your blade unbending, brother.
Yes. So William walks up to the two of them as they're having this moment and puts his hand on Leader Karuso's shoulder and then his hand on Lucian's shoulder and says, you know how they make people men, right? And then gives them a wink.
Mustaches.
And that's where we're in the episode. Oh no, okay, Avon, what you got?
We're good. I was just gonna say there was an orc woman. She was lovely.
And she was lovely.
Didn't have a mustache, though.
And that's where we're in the episode. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to episode, I believe, 7 of, this podcast, this Campaign 3, Knights of the Night Guard.
I thought it was episode 8.
Yeah, you know, who knows? I believe it. Yeah, you're right. It is episode 8. We recorded one the other night, so episode 8. Shane, will you please...
Do you know who does not have a mustache usually, but they can if they want to?
No.
Girls Who Code.
I forgot that was who was sponsored.
We need more girls in STEM, preferably with mustache. So here's my roll. You don't have to have a mustache if you don't want to. I'm gonna roll it.
Okay.
D20.
We've had good rolls.
Hey, it's a 14. It's
14, still above 10.
Yay!
Okay.
So here, girls who code, write me an algorithm for mustache time.
I hate it.
I hate it too, but I love it.
What do you hate?
If you want to talk about this episode, though, feel free to come to our Lawful Stupid Discord by going to discord.lawfulstupid.org.
Yeah, but like,
Tell us all the things.
what do you hate about it?
Well, so you know how we do, like, if you go to Discord right now, I will
That's the $69
do this thing.
tier.
So if you go to Discord right now, Shane will give you a voucher for one mustache ride.
I'm sorry, sir! Sir!
We have over 300 people in the Discord. If they listen to this episode, you're gone.
Not only do I not have the stamina, I'm a married man.
I guess you'll have to, here's what you have to grow 300 mustaches and mail them off.
Weird. Hey, if you want to support the show and you don't want to ride Shane's mustache, you can just go to store.lawfulstupid.org. You can get a t-shirt from any of the campaigns. You can get the William, Lucian, or Miss B stickers, which are real fucking lit. You even get a mask, man. You got options.
Cover up your mustache.
Anyways, thanks for listening, everybody. Oh, wait, we gotta do the good story. You know what? We're skipping the
You
good
gotta
story.
do a good story.
Do you want to do it still?
I mean,
this is
kinda.
your whole
Oh, yeah,
shtick.
this is your
whole
bit.
thing.
Oh, here's a good one.
STEM girls know what they fucking signed up for.
Little boy's stuffed Bambi rescued from frozen canal. They didn't think people would care. Details. Nico found out the hard way that when you walk on a walk with his mom, Brenda Duke, and siblings 2-year-old Santiago and 6-year-old Sebastian, when his little brother decided to test his pitching arm by tossing the stuffy over the railing next to the frozen waters of Ottawa's Rideau Canal. But they saved this stuffed animal from a canal.
Yeah, what they didn't tell you in that story is that the little boy tried to help save, and he actually fell in the canal. So now there's a small funeral people have to attend.
So here, it is absurd to me that I have to say these words out loud, and we don't all already know what really happened here. The Bambi doll is a totem. It's a doll. It's a totem. It's a puppet for a true deer stag lord of the forest who demands sacrifices. That's why everyone was willing to throw themselves after this doll in the freezing waters. And of course, the sacrifice was claimed, so we know that the next 20 years in the forest will belong to the stag lord. Free round.
So it's still a good story.
Stag Lord is also Shane's porn name, so
dropping next week.
My porn name is DJ Tries His Best.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.
My foreign name is oh, I got it. My porn name is Stanley. Very enthusiastic. That was very funny to me. I don't know. There's one person out there who's gonna laugh. Oh, because I'm just now ending my recording. And time mark.